Okay, here we are, and this is something that I always look. There's always something new I love about the magazine. There's always something new and exciting, and I've never even heard. Most people probably never even heard. You've heard of the Great Allentown Fair, but you never knew that there was a queen of the Allentown Fair. I mean, I grew up I spent the 32 years of my life here, and I'm like, there's a queen to the Allen. I saw a post on Facebook. I'm like, there's a queen to the Allen. Okay, this is something new. And right now we are sitting with, I guess the correct term would be one of the candidates, and we are, every year we are an political election year, so it makes sense. With one of the candidates for Queen, and couple interesting things, but we'll get to that later. And just because when the people introduce themselves, they do so much better job than I do. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, my name is Katrina Maniscalco, and I am one of the contestants for the Great Allentown Fair. This is their 10th year having an Allentown Fair Queen. This is also going to be their 166th year having the Allentown Fair. There was only 2 years that they didn't have the Allentown Fair. That was due to the Civil War, and it was also due to Camp Crane that was stationed at the fairground at the time. The exact year, it was about the 1890s.
That's what Google's for.
Thank you, yeah. Anyway, that was just a fun fact. So, like I said, the fair's been going on for about 166 years, and it started out with a couple of farmers getting together in the winter, late January, really cold. And they were all getting together by sleigh, and they met in Egypt, Pennsylvania, in front of this public house, and they decided that they wanted to form this fair. Now it's winter, but they knew that they wanted to do a fair, and they knew it had to be in harvest time, so that's like September, August-ish time period. Yeah, October. And so, anyway, what happened was, they didn't have the fairgrounds at first. It was down by Jordan Creek. It was down that way.
I didn't even know that.
True fact, and it was on the corner of 4th, Walnut, and some other street south, but it was near the creek. So I don't know how that worked, but it did. And it was just this little
different
lot.
landscape than it is now.
Yeah, it was just this little lot, but they made it work, and they did it, and it was there for a couple years, and then they built the Allentown Fairgrounds because the town was growing, so they needed more space to have this. And the very first year that they had it was, I want to say 1872. I'll have to check Google again because that might not be right.
Let people work for it.
But then they built the Allentown Fairground, and it's still a little bit different than the way it was back then. Now it's a little bit nicer. They got the grandstand. They didn't have that right away. But they had a thing for horses set up, this big building. It's no longer there. I just found that out last night. Pretty cool. They did races and stuff, I guess. But one of the cool perks of this is the fact that it's all based on the agricultural aspect of the fair. And so forget about the rides, forget about the concerts. Look at the agriculture, the livestock, the people, the farmers, and their families that come from different surrounding counties. They come to Allentown for the fair. It's usually about the only big thing that they do all year long. And they bring their crops, their livestock, their many talents, the farmers' wives and their daughters. They enter in all sorts of jams and quilts. And they've been doing this for over 100 years, really long time. And so you should come out and you should support it. It's really fun, and if you live in Allentown, there's no question you were going or not. It's just understood that you're going to go. So practically all my life growing up, I can sit out on my front stoop and I could hear the music from the concert because I live on 21st Street and this is down by 17th Street, pretty close by. And so I'm running as someone who's actually from Allentown, and I'm proud of that. No, I did not grow up on a farm. I grew up here, but I have a great interest in learning about agriculture and how it all works. I think it's important knowing where our food comes from, because a lot of people don't even question it. They'll rip open a bag of chips and be like, well, who cares where it came from? At least it's something I can eat. But it matters because, you know, when you talk to the farmers, they tell you exactly how they grow their stuff. No pesticides, no nothing, no GMOs, nothing made in the lab. Can you believe it? That's great, right? It's all fresh. And it's usually reasonably priced too. And so
Well, they every weekend they have the and
Farmers market?
there's another farmers market over in Easton.
Mm-hmm.
In my personal opinion, I tell people this: Allentown Farmers Market is the best farmers
Oh,
market.
it is.
You know, it's not just because it's not just because it's in. It's in the actual farmers market building, which is like almost a city block long or 2 city blocks long.
Oh, it is.
But when you walk in, the 2 aisles are narrow, but it's everything in there. You could buy. They have like a mini market in there.
Oh, they do.
Where you can buy like a convenience store.
The vitamin area.
Yeah, they
for
even
medicine
they
and
have.
stuff.
I think it's Clover Hill Vineyards is
Yes,
in
they
there.
do. They have honey.
Yeah, no, I'm talking
and
about
all
the
sorts of
wine.
other
They
stuff.
actually have a wine.
They do. They
local
have that too. You're
winery.
right.
And
The wine.
it's literally everything. And I mean, I'm one of those where I'm not a huge, the organic is great, but you tack the word organic onto it. I mean, go to Giant, regular Chiquita bananas, 49 cents a pound, organic bananas 69 cents. So it's like, and there are a lot of organic foods in there. But you're not paying the price of the organic foods, like you
It's
would at
different.
some of the other farmers markets.
And it's also fresher, and it's also I'm pretty sure it's the oldest in the area.
Easton is the oldest.
Is it the oldest?
It's Allentown's the
Alright.
second oldest.
I did not know that. All I know is I walk through it every day. Well, I shouldn't say every day. It's only open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. But Thursday and Friday, every week, without fail, I walk through on my way home from school. Because, it's nice to walk through and see the different vendors and everything, and things are always
Pick up
changing.
a fresh banana or a peach,
Yeah, you
or
could.
you know.
Or a donut from Mary Ann's. Oh my gosh, they're so
One of the top
good.
3 donut and bakeries in Lehigh Valley. The other
They're
2,
so good.
Egypt Star. I grew up 2 blocks away
There
from
you
that.
go,
They're
Egypt
cream-filled donuts.
Star.
And believe it or not, Giant.
Giants, they're all right.
Yeah.
To me, Mary Ann's will always be my favorite.
Oh yeah, Mary Ann's.
Always.
Believe it or not, I actually had Mary Ann's. My dad got some like 2 years ago. First time I left 2 years ago. When I grew up in the area, first time I've ever had Mary Ann's donuts. I took one bite of it. I'm like, oh my god, this is heaven.
Isn't it? Oh my gosh, and they're real small. And they're only about like 98 cents, I think. They're so worth it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, just give them the whole $1. They're so
Now,
good.
it's important. One of the important things to say is that the farmers market, they're just open pretty much regular normal hours during the fair, which I find kind of strange, but I don't, because it's with the amount of people you get to the fair and you try to walk through that farmers market during the fair. It's like,
Forget it.
you better be real good at maneuvering through crowds.
Yeah, and hope that there's still something left to
Yeah.
actually buy, because everybody else is there. People come from all over the place.
Yeah.
Out sometimes not even in the surrounding counties. Sometimes like past that, like New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
People come from Maryland, Virginia.
Out of
People come
state just
from
to go to that
New
fair.
York. Yeah, they come really far. So if you're local, you better hope that you get there first.
Okay. Now I usually try to split up in between 2 or 3, sections, because people's attention spans down to 0.2 milliseconds
Right.
now or something
You're
like
right.
that. So part 2, actually, we're gonna take a quick break. But part 2, I want to get into more about the Queen of the Fair, how that started, and other than being crowned Queen of the Allentown Fair, if there's any more responsibility that goes with that, or because you were Queen of the Allentown Fair, maybe there's a little more, you feel that there's a little more of a responsibility on you to try to make so I want to get into that part, and then if we do a part 3, it'll just be kind of like to wrap it up. Sound good?
Sounds great.
And by the way, having fun so far?
Oh, it's great. Actually, it's a lot of fun.